What up and welcome. What up and welcome to the Justin Focus Show. I'm here with Tiffany Poles, one of the top braiders, I would say, in the nation.
Getting there.
Yeah, but she's doing some amazing things. Just start off with an introduction of who you are and what you do.
Hey, I'm Tiffany Poles. I am a licensed educator as well as a celebrity braider based in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Talk to me. I mean, you said you're a celebrity braider. That's one of that's huge. And it's not every day you really get an opportunity to braid these celebrities' hair or be able to do business with them. So talk to me about that. Talk to me about some of the people that you work with right now.
Well, most of my celebrity clientele right now is NFL. I do have the honor of being Allen Iverson's braider for almost 3 years now. I would say as far as my top clients, I do braid the Martin twins for the Charlotte Hornets as well as Myles Bridges for the Charlotte Hornets. I do have a few Panther players, but for the most part, one of my biggest clients was Antonio Brown. I did do his hair for quite some time, and Cam Newton. So basically all over the league. I have clients right now on 9 different teams, 9 different NFL teams.
That's amazing. Now, we go back to college.
College,
and you were
yes.
braiding hair 15 years ago. Talk about the journey of like starting out where you're just doing every day, you're braiding every day, just regular people, and then you get to this point where now you're on the next level. Talk about that progression.
Well, braiding has always just been a hobby for me. It was just something I love to do. So having that passion to start out with made the journey easier. I won't say it's easy, but easier because I actually love what I do. And just going from being consistent, really, that's what has gotten me to where I am. Yeah. Majority of my celebrity clientele that I have now are from referrals. Sometimes people may see a teammate or somebody they went to college with or someone they played with on a previous team, and they'll say, hey, who does your hair? Right. Or when teams come to Charlotte as the visiting team, hey, my boy said you were here in Charlotte. I'm here this weekend, so we got to play the Panthers. Yeah. Could you come to the hotel and braid my hair? Nice. And so it's basically off referrals now.
So, what was the reason why you actually, left your job, started a business? Me personally, I left my job. I worked at like 25 different jobs by the time I was 23. I was just trying to figure out what I liked, what was I passionate about, and then I found video and marketing and stuff like that. And that's when I just decided to take that leap of faith. But what made you start your own business and work for yourself?
Well, I've always braided hair since college, high school, even in middle school. I've always braided hair. So it was something I was always passionate about. It just was never my main income. I did work at Verizon for many years, and while in Charlotte, while working at Verizon, I was in a car accident. I was hit by a drunk driver, and I lost use of my left arm for almost 5.5 months due to nerve damage. And it was just so hard being on so many medications, to be able to stare at the computer screen all day. I wasn't able to perform my job, so they had to let me go. So as physical therapy went on, I would have good days, I would have bad days. But with those good days, braiding was the only thing I could do where I could make my own hours, where I didn't want to have to try to get another job and then I couldn't work. And, I just stuck with braiding. Right. And I was able to build up my pain tolerance because at first it was really hard. Like I would literally do one head and be in tears because it hurt so bad. But over time, I just built up my pain intolerance, just built it up to the point, okay, now I'm braiding full time. Right. And I can make my own schedule and I have more flexibility. And when I do need to have those days off where I am in pain, I can. I don't have to report to anybody. Right. So it kind of took off from there. And then I've been braiding ever since.
Nice. Now you said you did open up an actual shop where you had other people working for you. Talk to me about that experience. I know you said you don't like being a boss, but talk to me about that experience. And
I mean, I had a very talented team. I'll say that. I had a very talented team. I did have my shop for a few years. In that process, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I'm not the greatest boss because I'm too nice. I let them get away with a lot, and not to downplay my stylist, because when the boss is away, the children play. So with me having to travel a lot, it was just, there wasn't a lot of structure in my shop. Right. So if I do it again, which I do plan on doing again, I definitely would have a shop manager, and there just are some things I would do differently. Right. But we did have some great times, great experiences. I would have celebrity clients coming through. We would do like 24-hour braid fest where we would literally braid until we couldn't braid anymore. Like we would have events, we would have little parties. Like it was fun. Like I won't say the whole experience was bad. It was just definitely a learning experience.
Nice. You know, when running a business, at least to me, like I've learned, like you got to have a certain type of mindset. Like just because it's just hard. Like running a business is hard. Like you're not looking at somebody else to provide you with a check. There's no boss above you. And so you do have to have the right mindset. Like talk to me about your mindset and how you've put yourself in a position to be mentally tough to get through those low points to get to where you are now. You know what I mean?
I would say the biggest attribute that has pushed me and carried me is I don't take no for an answer. If the answer is no, I'm gonna find a way for it to be yes.
Right.
So even with building my clientele, people always ask me, oh my goodness, how did you get so much clientele so fast?
Right.
I think outside the box. So with going to college and having a degree and understanding business and marketing, I found my target audience. So when I first started braiding, you know, I wasn't doing as many clients, but I needed to get clients that could see a lot of people.
Right.
So I targeted my clientele. So I started doing nurses and doctors. Why? Because they see thousands and thousands of people.
Right.
So they have my cards and their scrubs. When I would go uptown, I had a shirt, and I don't know if you remember, like the ink we used to draw on our shirts, our T-shirts with.
Yeah.
And I braided my hair bright purple, and I went downtown to trade and try on, and on my shirt it said I braid hair. So when people approach me, oh, I love your hair. Oh, you do hair? Yes, here's my card. I'm not soliciting.
Right.
Because you approached me.
First.
So I'm not soliciting.
Smart.
And think about it. When you have people who work uptown, they have to look a certain way all the time.
Right.
So you want clients that are consistent. You want clients who have to keep their hair done. You don't always want those clients that, oh, it's my birthday, so I'm gonna go get my hair done. Right. Or it's Easter or Thanksgiving, right. We got family Christmas pictures, so let me go get my hair done. No, you want those people who want to constantly keep their hair done. Yeah. Because even though we're in a business where we make money every day, our bills come every month. So my money needs to be consistent because that's the way my bills come.
Absolutely. So you basically, like, I don't know if you're familiar with how Facebook advertising works, they allow you to target, market certain areas, but you were doing it live and in person, which is obviously more effective because you get to talk to them right away and make the sale right there. That's awesome. Like going forward, like over the next 5 years, where do you see, you know, like, what are some of your goals? Because you've reached a high point right now in your career. You're working with some of the top people in these different industries. Like, what's next for you? Like, what do you want to do?
Well, I would say my next project is actually starting. Due to COVID, it has been kind of paused a little bit, but so this is the first time I'm actually announcing it. I did post it on social media, but as far as speaking about it, is I was asked to teach a class in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to teach a braid class. Yeah. And due to COVID, I'm not going to Brazil just yet, but I am teaching a virtual class for a hair school in Rio on September 13th. So to have that international recognition and people wanting to learn from me just based off of social media. I actually did braid and teach 2 people in London in 2019, and that was amazing. And I didn't realize I had that many international followers. So it's like the power of social media. You never know who's watching you. You know, you never know.
It shrinks the world.
Right, for sure, for sure. And that's why I always tell like people, I get braiders who DM me and ask me questions like, how do you do it? How do you stay motivated? And it's like, you have to have goals, but you also have to be willing to work towards those goals. Right. I don't get where I am by just sitting on my behind, just doing nothing. Yeah, you guys may seem like that, but you don't know the work I put in to get to this point.
Absolutely. Just to go back a little bit, like you mentioned COVID, like how did COVID affect you as a person and your business? It didn't. Not at all? No.
I was reaching out to clients during lockdown. In those 3 months, I spent the most time with my daughter that I probably have in the last 5-7 years because I stay pretty booked. Right. And I also saved money. So my bills were paid during COVID because I had savings. Right. And when we got back to work, at first I was like, you know, how's my clientele going to be? People's money's going to be kind of funny. When I opened my books back up, after we were off of lockdown, I had double the clients.
That's amazing.
Because you have to think about it. More people are working from home. Right. So with braiding, you know, it's like, oh, I'm working in my living room. I don't want to have to be doing my hair. Right. My kids got to be on camera. I still don't want to have to do their hair. So that doubled my clientele. So I've just been...
And people went for like months looking just roughing it.
Right.
Like, I know
my male clientele, because you got to think about it. Guys didn't get haircuts for 3 months.
Right.
So I had more males getting braids than ever. So I'm like, yes, more creativity. I loved it. But so COVID has been a blessing, honestly.
That's awesome. So you spoke about like just being creative in general. And one thing I've seen is like you did a whole tour, like a braid tour. And I found that fascinating. Tell me a little bit about your Braid Tour.
So Braid Tour now for me is on demand. So I'll post on social media, what cities you guys want me to come to. And then I'll go through the list and see what the top cities are. And basically all I need is 10, I'll literally come anywhere, I just need 10 confirmed. When I say confirmed, I mean deposits paid.
Right.
I need 10 confirmed clients and I'll come to your city.
Right.
And just having the power of social media, I use it to my advantage. And of course, when I first started touring, I went to cities where I had family.
Yeah.
By doing that, I didn't have to pay for food because most of the time my family cooked for me. I didn't have to pay for housing and I didn't have to pay for transportation because they would basically be my tour guide while I was in their city.
Right.
So by starting doing that, it was less expenses, but I was still able to make money. And then I branched it now to where I have a bigger name as far as traveling, so now I don't have to pay for anything.
So now you do work and then
and then I have a little play. Yes.
That's awesome. That's very creative, very creative. There's a lot of people that, obviously in school, they're telling us, go to college, get a good job. And they through the years, they tell us this over and over again. And a lot of people, they want to go to college, they just don't know why they want to go to college. But there's also people out there who may be talented at doing hair. And, what would you tell them, what would you tell them so that they didn't waste their time to go to college and really follow their dreams, if it's hair or if it's anything else?
I would say, so I have a mixed answer with that. Coming from my personal experience, I'm not really big on don't go to college.
Yeah.
Even if you just go to a community college and get a liberal arts associate's degree. Because there's things that you learn about yourself in a college setting that you won't learn anywhere else. Okay. Even with me not doing what my degree is in, there were still classes that I took that are beneficial to my business. Gotcha. When I was in college, I took accounting. I do my own books. Right. When I was in college, I took marketing. Clearly, it works. Right. So, what I learned in school, I applied to my personal business. Right. So I can't say that college was a waste, but it's all how you apply it. Don't go to college for something that you're not interested in. Right. And don't be afraid you don't have to declare a major. Right. Go for liberal arts. Take classes all over the place just to see what piques your interest. Right. And people like D1, if you play sports, of course you want to go to the bigger schools. Yeah. But if you're just really trying to find yourself, don't be afraid to go to community college or go to, just get an associate's. Start out liberal arts, doing classes in various things just to see what you're interested in before you waste thousands and thousands of dollars. Absolutely. Because my associate's degree actually helped me. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, going to school for taking up some business classes definitely would be beneficial to any business, that's out there. You said you had some marketing classes that was beneficial to you there. So no, I definitely get that. But that's not the mindset of the students. That's not the mindset of the teachers. And so one thing I want to do is really get into these students' heads. All right, if you're going to go for the right reasons. If you're going to go for the right reasons. Go and get a class that's going to be pertaining to, your specific trade and not waste time. I was the one type that, I went for physical education. None of it helped me with what I did, but that was just because my mindset, I wasn't thinking in that way, So I know you're braiding a lot of celebrity people's hair. Who's next on your list? Who's your next dream client if you could pick?
If I was, on my radar, that's how I like to say it. I don't say dream because dreams can seem so far-fetched because Iverson was a dream for me. I declared on paper that I wanted to braid Allen Iverson's hair when I was in 10th grade. Wow. And just so you guys know, I am 38 now. But I declared that I wanted to do Allen Iverson's hair when I was in 10th grade. And it was literally 20 years later, I got the call to do his hair. Wow. So it's I don't want to say dream.
How did that?
It was a referral. It was a referral from somebody I didn't even know. Iverson was here in Charlotte and he needed a braider. And that person sent me a message on Instagram. Hey, my boy needs his hair done. Are you available? And at first he didn't even tell me who it was. I was on my way to the client and that's when he told me who it was. Yeah.
He didn't even tell you whose hair you was braiding?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I never asked him that. That's crazy. I never asked him that. But yeah, he never told me at first until I was on my way. And then he told me who it was. And I was like, yeah, right. He was like, no, for real. I said, okay, I'm on my way. I didn't freak out till after I did it.
What has it been actually braiding his hair?
When I tell you it's so dope, it's more like we have like a brother-sister relationship. Like he's the big brother, I'm the little sister. Right. That's the kind of relationship we have, and it's so awesome. Like we talk junk to each other. I'm a huge Eagles fan. He's a Dallas fan, so that's a feud in itself.
Wait, I didn't know he was a Dallas.
Yes, he's a Dallas Cowboys diehard. Oh,
he can't be a Dallas fan.
He is a Dallas. Well, you got to play for the Sixers, not the Eagles. So
You know how Philly is, though.
Oh yeah, but I mean, of course, he'll tell you. I have friends that play for the Eagles, but I'm a Dallas fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, but our relationship is so dope because even people who are around us. Like, I remember I was doing his hair one time, and one of his friends was like, man, where was you at? You could have been braiding his hair when he was in the league. And I was like, I was in high school.
Right.
So everybody just starts dying laughing. But, just our energy is so dope. You would swear we've known each other longer than 3 years. Like, it's so dope.
That's awesome. You spoke about, your daughter, family. When running a business, I know there's a lot of balance. It's a balancing act, Yeah, well, talk to me about your experience with balancing your home life with your business life and just really making that work. Because at the end of the day, we know what's most important. It is our family. So talk to me about how you figure out how to balance it, or how you are figuring it out.
I will say now that my daughter's 16, it is becoming a little easier. So she does travel with me a lot.
Okay.
And what I try to do, because of course she hates watching me braid, because she's been watching it her whole life, literally. So whenever we're going somewhere, I always let her either pick where we eat or pick where we stay. I always want to include her in the process, and also have a day where we do something that she wants to do in that city. Gotcha. So like, for example, we went to DC. I had to braid in DC. And I said, okay, you pick the hotel, you pick the restaurants where we eat. She literally went online, found, okay, Mom, I want to eat here. And that's what we did.
Right.
And so we do stuff that she likes to do.
Right.
One of my clients is a celebrity makeup artist who's actually working Fashion Week this week. My daughter likes, looking cute, so he did her makeup, and she didn't know he was doing it. So it was a surprise for her, but it made her whole weekend. She was feeling herself, so I couldn't wait till she washed it off. But yeah, but it was dope.
Outside of you had the car accident, but with just business, what are some of the obstacles that you've had to, get around? Because we're talking to people that, maybe running a business, may want to start a business. And the biggest thing is how do you get around these obstacles?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. With me, with braiding starting as my hobby, it was very hard to turn it into a business. Because having a job as a hobby, money's not your priority.
Right.
But when you have a business, you're in business to make money.
Right.
For example, my current pricing that I have on my website, I didn't make it.
Okay.
I had to have somebody else see my value
Right.
and make my pricing.
Gotcha.
Because basically what they told me is your resume doesn't match your prices.
Right.
And because I'm a big person on consistency, I was so afraid if I raise my prices, I'm going to lose clients.
Yeah.
But it's why did you work this hard to still be making minimum wage?
Right.
So I had to get in my mind, Tiff, yeah, you're charging X amount of dollars for this service now because you're worth it.
Right.
If people can't afford it, they can't afford it. I had to stop keeping that as my focus, where no, I don't want to lose that client. I don't want to lose these clients. Mm-hmm. But the hard work I put in, I've earned it.
Right.
So I had to get that mindset. Don't be afraid to raise your prices because your quality and your resume deserve that price.
Right.
And I really came to realization when I would have celebrity clients book me for the first time. Mm-hmm. And, they would pay for my travel, hotel, all of that. And then when they ask me the price, I tell them, and that's it. When you get a multi-millionaire telling you that's it,
right.
That was my wake-up call.
Right.
Wait a minute, you mean you would pay more?
Yeah.
So it's oh, well, pay me what you feel I deserve then,
Right.
But it was an eye-opener. Tiff, you're the shit.
Right.
You need to realize that you're the shit. People are flying you to LA to braid their hair. You know what I mean? That should say something in itself. You know how many braiders there are from Charlotte to LA? Yeah. There's people in LA that they could have braided, but they want you. Mm-hmm. And I had to come to that realization, Tiff, don't be afraid,
Understanding your value.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Me and my cameraman, we had a conversation about that. We actually shot a video a couple weeks back about really knowing your value, and that was one of my wake-up calls as well. It's I pitched the client, gave them a low offer. They're like, hey, go back, do your research, tell me what that really costs. Mm-hmm. And it was 5 times more than what I was charging. And from that point on, I realized how much other people valued my work. So I completely understand what you're saying. So as you're as you're getting more and more celebrity clients, do you think there'll ever be a point in time where your celebrity clients, like you have so many where you may not be able to take care of the everyday person?
I feel like it's getting to that point.
Okay.
It is, and I feel like because I do control my schedule for the most part, I probably will have it where certain weeks I'll let my celebrity clients know you can't book me this week. This is for my Charlotte clients. And then it will be first come, first serve because I'm big on knowing my foundation.
Gotcha.
If I didn't have the support and the consistency of my Charlotte clients as well as my Rochester clients where I started,
Right.
I wouldn't be braiding your hair as a celebrity. So I never want to completely cut out my foundation because I wouldn't be where I am without them.
Gotcha.
But I know it's going to come a point where I'm going to have to block that off where, okay, this is for Charlotte clients
I guess
and
that's
this
where
is for
like
travel.
the training of
Yes.
like new
Of other
employees
stylists.
or stylists. Because even like braiding, obviously it takes a toll on the body.
And actually, everybody always asks me that. When you talking about, you've been braiding so long, your hands don't hurt. My hands don't hurt at all.
Really?
Not at all. That's how I know this is, because I know people.
Even the leaning, what about the leaning, like back?
No, I still got mega knees. Like I'm good. I'm good. I get sleepy, but long days. But
you know, when you're doing something that's physical on your body, do you like? I would think you would like go to masseuse, chiropractor. And
I actually
things
don't
like
like massages because I'm ticklish.
I
hate
them. You
them.
need to be getting massages and chiropractor.
I can massage my own hands. I have my oils at home. I don't like other people massage because I'm extremely ticklish and I never make it through a massage. I've tried. I laugh like it doesn't go how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
But I do work out. I do soak my hands once a month in Epsom salt. They don't hurt, but you got to think about my fingers are muscles. And so it just helps soothe. And so I basically am proactive with what I do. I don't wait until they hurt to do stuff. Like I do so proactively so that my hands don't hurt.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I know you said you've done some things for like some community events. You know, talk to me about the community events, even the parts where you go on the news and you're doing hair live and.
Yeah, I love giving back. I've done many book bag drives. I've done free hairstyles for kids. I've done different functions out of state as well where I just donate services. Like I remember with Duchess from Black Ink, we did an event for single moms where I did their hair. You know, she offered services for them as well. Then we did the same thing for single dads, where I did the kids' hair and the dads who did have hair, I would do their hair for free. So like I'm big on giving back because I feel like without the support, I wouldn't be where I am. So I try to give back whenever I can, whenever my schedule allows, because my schedule's all over the place. But I'm definitely big on that.
So talk to me about like how is it when you're working with the male celebrities and you know how do you stay focused, you know, while you're doing their hair?
I would say, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some fine specimens, but knowing while I'm there. You know, you hear horrible stories on TMZ and Shade Room about stylists and all that. You know, I'm there to provide a service. Now, I have been blessed that I do have some celebrity clients who become family, who become friends, but it's always business first.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm there for. And like people ask me all the time, you know, how are you going to, you know, you're at Super Bowl weekend, or I saw you at this event, I saw you at All-Star weekend, how are you? It's like I put in the work and those are the rewards of the work. I don't have to sleep with anybody. I don't have to do anything malicious. You know what I mean? Like they know what my motives are. I'm there to help, you know, if they need me for anything outside of braiding, but I'm there to do your hair. Exactly. And it's when you come with the right intentions, everything will, you know, everything will play out.
I think it's important for like young ladies who are watching this, like to see that you're able to do it with like literally your skill, your professionalism, and still make it to the top. A lot of times young ladies think that they have to go other routes, and it's like no, just show what your value is.
And another thing, I'm glad you mentioned that about the young ladies. Anytime you see me, 95% of the time, I have on a t-shirt and sweatpants. I don't have to sell myself to sell my service.
Right. So talk to me about like what celebrity is on your radar to work with.
Right now it's Carmelo Anthony. Like I would love to do like when the Lakers come to Charlotte to play the Hornets, if I could get Carmelo and Iverson at the same time, because you remember they used to play together in Denver. So if I could take two styles that they had back when they were in Denver and do like a then and now and redo the designs and have them take the picture together, like that would be so ill.
make it happen.
Yeah, we got it.
We're gonna have to
Mello, listen, when you come to Charlotte, I got you.
That's dope. What makes you, there's a lot of people that do that braid hair. What makes you unique in how you braid hair, your style?
I would say what makes me unique is consistency, my personality, and my professionalism.
Okay.
I would say those are because there's a lot of people that braid better than me, but are they consistent? Are they professional?
Gotcha.
And personality. Because you can have somebody, and I speak on this a lot when I'm teaching my classes, your energy is real.
Right.
And when you're doing hair, you can't social distance.
Right.
So I have to be on you. I have to be close to you.
Yeah,
I have to be invading your bubble. Yeah. So if I'm bringing negative energy with me, I don't care how good you do hair. I'm not somebody you're going to want around you, at least not all the time.
Absolutely.
Like my clients will tell you, when we're in my shop, we're either watching something good on TV, like my clients, oh, Tiffany, what's that show? I think we were on episode last time when I was here. Can we finish watching that? I promise you, I've watched every show on Netflix 5 or 6 times because a different client will come. Well, I left on episode 4, and then the next client, well, we were on episode 3 when I was here. So it's like just having that energy and making everybody feel comfortable.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Making them feel comfortable, having that camaraderie with them.
Yeah, and I would say now what sells with my Charlotte clients is with social media, it doesn't take much to be famous on social media. I have almost 50,000 followers, but people will come in my shop and be like, Tiff, you don't act like a celebrity stylist. But that's the problem.
Right.
Celebrity stylists act like they're untouchable. Like I get people who DM me and like, oh my God, it's really you? Yeah. Well, who'd you think it was gonna be? But that's the problem. A lot of bigger stylists, they don't run their own pages. So you're not talking to them. You're talking to their assistants or whoever they pay to run their Instagram. Right. So being personable, even though I have all these celebrity clients, I still want to talk to my everyday people because that keeps me grounded. Right. And I think that is the biggest selling part. Like it still shocks me when I finish somebody's hair and they ask to take a picture with me. And I'm like, me? Why? Like, I'm nobody. But to them, I'm somebody, So I have to humble myself like, all right, take this picture. Right. But I think that is the biggest thing.
That's all. Well, congratulations on all your success. I'm super proud of you, seeing you from when we went to college to where you are now. And I definitely look forward to just the next few years, hearing me being new to Charlotte, just to see what we can do. All right, so I just want to thank you for, coming on the show. I definitely want to have you on the show again. We want to bring in some more stylists, some more barbers on, in the future. But audience, I hope you guys got a lot of jewels out of what she was saying about building a business and running a successful business. Take what she said and put it to work. I love connecting with entrepreneurs. So whether you're a hairstylist, you're a dentist, you're a chef, or you're a cinematographer, we want to be able to connect with you guys and help you connect with other people. Definitely follow us on social media, on all of our social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the Just in Focus Show, and we will see you next time. Peace.